Girish Patil. Today we have started this BMC online session to conduct our civics revision. So let us start with the session. Someone's mic is on. Will you please?
Good morning, sir.
I'll mute her.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, all of you. Good morning, all of you.
Sir, unmute yourself and continue.
Okay, I think that the sound of this PPT is not going.
It's okay.
Okay. Welcome to the online session of Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation. In this COVID pandemic situation, as our schools are off, we are conducting online session. So today is 17th Feb 2021. I am your host teacher for the day, Girish Patil. Today I'm going to take a civic subject and the revision of the topic urban local government bodies. This topic has been divided into two parts as it is having a lot of information in it, and for the convenience of the students I have divided the topic in two parts. The first part will be conducted today, and the second part will be conducted day after. As we know that our society is being divided into different types of uh, stratas, as village, as cities, towns. So in order to administer the village, we have different in order to administer our country, we have to divide the administration into different levels. As our country is a democratic nation, the administration of our nation is divided into different levels to facilitate the need of every individual. So our country is a democratic nation, and our country is divided into number of states. Our country is also divided into number of districts, talukas, villages. Means there are different status uh, uh, of our society. So in order to administer our country, we have different levels to administer them. So the country level means the administrative body which governs our country is the union government, or we also call it as the central government. The administrative body which governs our state means in our country there are a number of states, and in order to govern each and every state there is a separate government over there, so it is called as the state government. In every state there are districts, towns, villages. So in order to govern uh, the administration, in order to facilitate the people who are living in that area, there are local governments. So in the previous chapters, we learned what are local governments, and for the rural area, means the areas which are villages, what type of government is there to govern, and for the urban areas, what type of government is there to govern. We have a basic idea of it, but then also we are going to revise it first, and then we are going to start our lesson. So let us discuss about the different social structures. Uh, what do you see in the first village? There is a small village, and in that village there are small huts are there, small houses are there, And you can see the bullock cart is there, a farmer, a peasants are there for, so it clearly mentions that it is a small village. See the second picture. This second picture shows that the houses are dense, means the houses are close to each other. When this happens? When a village gets developed, most of the people from the nearby areas start migrating in the village, and slowly and steadily the village grows. As the space available there is very limited, the people used to make their houses close towards each other. So the small village get converts into a big village. Slowly and steadily, when in a village, the business, the profit of the people, the lifestyle of the people increases, rises, the village slowly and steadily get converted into city. So the cities you see today, where villages more years before they were the villages, but slowly and steadily when the people get progressing in that area, the business get developed in that area, the service sector get developed in that area, the villages get converted into cities. The people from the nearby areas come and migrate in the cities for business, for service, to live in the city, to live the city life, to earn their livelihoods. And also the cities get expanded. While expanding the cities, there are some limits till that the city expands, but after that there are no space to expand. Hence the cities get converted into metropolis. The city which we live in Mumbai. Mumbai is a metropolitan city. By looking at all the four pictures, you can easily differentiate how the lifestyle of the people in all the four pictures would be different. The first picture showing a small village, there are scattered population. The houses are also far away from each other. So the administrative body to govern the village should be different. However, when the village get converted into a big village, the population increases. Also the demand, the facilities of the people to provide the people also increases. That is, the burden on the administrative body to provide the facility to the people also increases. Hence, the administrative body governing a big village should be different, or it can be called as a town. The second picture, it resembles a town. When the town gets converted into city, there are a lot of challenges in the city. Also, the population of the city increases. Hence, the people living in the city, they have different types of problems and they need different types of facilities over there. So the administrative body to look after the welfare of the people in the cities should be different. Also, when the cities get converted into metropolis, metropolis are the busiest places in the civilization, as there are service sectors, there are business, also there are a lot of transportation systems over there to facilitate the people. Also, the population in the metropolis is highly dense. So the basic facilities provided that should be provided to the people in the metropolis is also very high. So the administrative body or the local government body, which would be governing the village, will not be familiar to govern the metropolis. Hence, the administrative body to govern the metropolis should also be different. Okay. So what are the various problems in the society? As the structure of the society is different, the problems arising are also different, and the facilities required are also different. Hence, the government bodies are also different. The government bodies governing a village, a city, a town, and a metropolitan city are different. Why? Because the structure of the society in all the four places is different. The problems faced by the people in each and every part, means the problems faced by the people in the village are different. The problem faced by the people in the town are different. The problem faced by the people in the cities are different. Also, their requirements are different. The village people have different types of requirements, the basic requirements. The city people, they have a different type of requirements. Hence, the governing body, the government body are also different. So in the previous chapters, we had a little bit information about the governing bodies, that are the local governing bodies. So these local government bodies are being divided into two types. This is the basic information all of you know. The first is the rural and the second is the urban. It is very easy to remember what is rural. Associate this word with village. Rural means village life, and urban. Urban means city life. So in rural local government bodies, there are Gram Panchayat for small villages, Panchayat Samiti, a group of villages come together to form a Panchayat Samiti. Panchayat Samiti is usually at Taluka level. And the highermost body that governs the rural area is the Zilla Parishad. Zilla Parishad is present at the district level of the district, at the city of the district. In the previous chapter, we got the information about rural local government body. This chapter is dealing with urban local government body. Means we are going to focus upon the local government bodies governing the city. See, in urban, there are small towns. When the village develop, when the people from the nearby areas migrate to the place, the village expands and it get converted into town, nagars, and a big city. So there are three local government bodies governing there. For a small town, there is a Nagar Panchayat, which governs the area, which facilitates the people living in that area. When this small town gets expanded into a city, the population also increases, the demand of the people for the basic needs also increases, their other requirements increases, as the road, the sewage, all the system that have to be developed on a large scale as it is growing into a city. So municipal council is there to govern a city. When the city expands into a metropolis or a huge city, a big city, then municipal corporation is there to look after the administration of that place. So why there is the need of the urban local government bodies? Our country has a large number of the towns and cities. They are growing rapidly. As we live in Mumbai, we see that few years earlier, the outskirts of Mumbai, that is that areas from the central line, that is Bhandup, Mulund, Vikhroli, they were not as developed as today. In the western line, also you can see that Borivali, Dahisar, Kandivali, these areas were not that much developed 10 to 15 years before, if we see. And what we see today, if we move in these areas, we see that most of the metro train work is going on in that area. Most lifestyle of the people have enhanced in that area. Why this happened? Because the small towns, they were like small towns, and the population there increased. Also, the business in that area increased. So the villages grow into the towns, and towns into the cities. Slowly and steadily, a small village grow into a town. The town grow into a city, and the city grow into a metropolis. Metropolis means a city with a dense population, a large number of business opportunities, service opportunity. That is a metropolis. So Mumbai have become a metropolitan city. The rural area, neighboring cities are getting transformed into the cities. So there is a need of the urban local government body. In the previous chapter, we have studied the nature of local government bodies in the rural area. In this chapter, we will get to know something about local government institute in the urban area. This includes Nagar Panchayat, municipal council, and municipal corporation. See, this is again repeated here. In this chapter, we are going to learn about urban local government bodies, that is Nagar Panchayat, municipal council, and municipal corporation. Why these things are repeated again and again? These things are repeated again and again in order to make you familiar with the names of the local government bodies. You should know what are the urban local government bodies and where they are working. So this chapter is dealing about the Nagar Panchayat. What is Nagar Panchayat? In a single sentence, I have explained here for your better understanding. The local government body for transition areas from village to city. Means the area which is transition. Transition means there is a change from the village to city. Then we are going to learn about the municipal council, local government body for small urban areas. And then we are going to learn about the municipal corporation, local government bodies for big urban areas. It should be big urban areas, municipal corporation. So basically, what is the role of the government, local government body? As we all people live in a democratic nation, we have some rights that we should get some basic facilities. Also, while living in the cities or living in the villages, we face a lot of problems. So what are the facilities and what are the problems in the cities? We are going to discuss in this slide. See, to the left of the screen, opportunity for industry and business. So in the cities, there is a lot of opportunity for business. There is a lot of opportunity for business in the cities. Also, industries, as in the cities, there are facilities available such as electricity, the transportation facilities are good. So there are opportunities for industries and business. Then there is an expanding service sector. There is an expansion of service sector. So what is service sector? Service sector deals with all the facilities you get, as you get schools, colleges, government offices to do all the government work. Also, we have hospitality, that hospitals are there. Hospitality deals with the hotels you have that serves you. So all the service sector is expanding in the cities. There is a large scale opportunities for the jobs. as there are a lot of number of the offices available in the cities, so the job facility is also in a large number in the cities. Availability of the facilities of the entertainment facilities. The people who live in the city, they enjoy the entertainment facilities available in the cities, as the cinema hall, theaters, they are all close by. So this is also a facility available in the city. Uh, as this all the facilities are available, most of the people in the country or most of the people in the nearby area are attracted by the cities, and they try to migrate in the cities. They try to come to live the city life. As they come to live the city life, there are a lot of problems arised in the city. What are these problems? The very basic problem that we face in Mumbai is shortage of housing. Houses are very short in the cities. Also, they are very expensive. Insufficient space. As there is a very less space available in the city, the houses are made very close nearby to each other. Hence, the space available in the city is insufficient as compared to the village. When you move to the village, you find the space there is a vast space available, but in the cities there is an insufficient space. Then traffic congestion. As the population of the city is high, the vehicles also in the city are in a large number. So traffic congestion is another problem in the city. The fourth problem of disposal of the waste, art, culture, etc. This is a big problem of disposal of waste. Increasing crime. The next problem in the city is increasing crime. As a large number of people are living in these cities, the crime also is in a large number. A large proportion of the population is in slums. As the people migrating to the cities, when they find it difficult to survive, they form slums. So large number of people live in the slums. And we all know that the life in the slum is very challenging. So these are also the problems. So in order to overcome these problems or to facilitate the people, the local government body which is looking after the small town is Nagar Panchayat. So in this slide, we are going to get the information about Nagar Panchayat. The first point, the village that are in the process of becoming town have a Nagar Panchayat. We see some areas which are neither fully rural nor fully urban. In such areas, the local government body is Nagar Panchayat. What is Nagar Panchayat? The small village which has been converted into a into a town, which has been converted into a town. This needs a local government body to govern, that is Nagar Panchayat. See in this picture, you can see a town. This houses are close nearby. It is transformed into a village to a city. Elections to a Nagar Panchayat are held every 5 years. See, in the Nagar Panchayat, there are, in every local government body, there are two types of administrative heads who administer the area. First one, the people who are elected from the elections, direct elections. And second, there are officers which are appointed by the government. So in the Nagar Panchayat, the people who are appointed through the elections have to take the election every 5 years. Election to the Nagar Panchayat are held every 5 years. The elected members choose a president and a vice president from among themselves. The elected members who are being elected in the Nagar Panchayat, this elect a president and a vice president among themselves. The official person appointed there is executive officer of Nagar Panchayat. See, executive officer. In the first point, we saw that in the previous point, we saw that the people who are elected through the elections are the elected members, and they select a president and a vice president among themselves. And the official person appointed there is executive officer of Nagar Panchayat. Let me give you an example. When you move through the using a train, when you move towards Nasik, your train halts at Kasara. Kasara is a place where your train halts. When you see that area, when you get down from the train and see the nearby area, you will find that it is like village and it is also like a town. It is transforming from a village to a town. So this place, you can easily find out that it is transforming into a town or it is going to be transformed into a city. So the local government governing body there will be different from Gram Panchayat. It has it is a Nagar Panchayat over there. And the government officer appointed by the government is the executive officer who takes the decision in that area. So we have got the information given in the textbook about Nagar Panchayat here. There is a more information you will get in the successive years as you will go in 7th, 8th, 9th. You will get more information about it. But in this year, in this text, you have this much information about Nagar Panchayat. You should know that after how many years the election of the Nagar Panchayats are held, who is the head of the Nagar Panchayat, the president and the vice president, and the officer appointed by the government is called the executive officer of Nagar Panchayat. So this is the information about Nagar Panchayat in your text. Now we are moving to 4.2, that is municipal council. See the picture. In this picture, you can see that the area is different from the Nagar Panchayat area. There are some buildings, 5, 6, 7-story buildings are there. And this area is different from the Nagar Panchayat area. As the Nagar Panchayat area is transforming from village to the town, now this municipal council area, you can see it is been transforming from a town to a small city. It is just like a small city. The municipal council is local government body for small cities. Local government body for small cities. Election of the council are held every 5 years. See, this point is common in Nagar Panchayat also, and this point is common in municipal council also. The elections are held after every 5 years. The elected representatives function as councillors. The elected representatives there function as councillors. As per the recent change in relating to the municipal council, the president is elected directly by the people. See, in Nagar Panchayat, the people who were elected, they choose their president and vice president. But in municipal council, this difference is there. People elect the representatives also, and people elect the president also. Means they have to cast a separate vote elections. The president of the municipal council is the chairman of all the meetings. He is the head. The president of the municipal council is the chairman of all the meetings. He controls the working of the council and keeps a watch on the financial administration of the council. In the absence of the president, the vice president look after the work of the council. See, as a town is growing into a small city, as you can see that buildings are being formed. In a small town, there are 1-story, 2-story houses. But when it is being transformed into the cities, there is a lack of space, and the developers in that area, they demolish the houses and they make a 2, 3, 4, 5-story buildings over there, so that more people can live in the less area. In a small area, more families can live. So there is a lot of burden to provide electricity, to provide water facility, to provide drainage system in that area, to make roads, internal roads of the city. There is a lot of burden on municipal council. So all the decisions to provide the facility to the people are taken in the meeting, where the president of the municipal council is the chairman, and he controls the working of the council and keeps a watch on financial administration of the council. How much money is being spent on roads, how much money is being spent on water, how much money is being spent on garbage disposal. All these things, all these decisions are under the watch of the president. In the absence of the president, the vice president look after the work of the council. After the president, if the president is not feeling well or he is out of the town, and if the meetings are being conducted, the meetings are being headed by the vice president. The official, see here, the official person appointed there is chief officer. See, there is a difference. In Nagar Panchayat is what executive officer, and in municipal council, the officer appointed by the government by taking the exams, the capable candidates are appointed as the chief officer in the municipal council. He implements the decision taken by the municipal council. See, this president, these elected members only take the decisions, but to implement the decision, to provide the facilities to the people, to look after the work going on in the city, is looked after by the chief officer. There are several officers to assist him. As we see that the city is little bit dense populated than the town. So there are facilities available such as hospitals, schools, roads, sewage, garbage disposal, electric facility, water facility. All these things are different. So there are some officers appointed under chief officer who look after the different departments. The municipal council, function of the municipal council. So what are the function of the municipal council? There are some functions that are binding to the council. They are known as obligatory functions. Obligatory functions, they are very obligatory, means they have to do it. They have to provide that facilities to the people at any cost. First is lighting and public streets. There are streets available in the cities, and at night there is dark, so the municipal council should look after the lighting of the public streets. Providing drinking water. Each and every individual needs water for drinking. So the people living in the city, they have the right to get potable drinking water. So municipal council look after providing drinking water. Public hygiene. In order to maintain the cleanliness and in order to avoid the spread of the diseases, public hygiene is very important. In this pandemic situation of corona, we got to know about a great importance of this public hygiene. Then also some of the people are not moving responsibility in the society, but let it be. We as a student have understood the importance of the public hygiene, means the public toilets which we use, the garbage where we dispose the garbage, that places should be very hygienic, should be kept very hygienic in order to maintain the cleanliness. Then sewage disposal and keeping the record of birth, death, and marriages. So these are the obligatory functions for the municipal council. See, there is a photo. There is a first picture showing lightening of the public street, then providing drinking water facilities, then public hygiene means sweepers are available in the city areas to sweep the roadsides areas, also to take the garbage from our houses. Then sewage disposal. From every house in the city there are gutters or the sewage pipelines are there to take the wastewater from the house. And there are the government offices to maintain the record of the birth, death, and marriage. The municipal council also tries to provide additional facilities to the people, and their function as discretionary function. See here, the municipal council also tries to provide additional facilities to the people. Other than this obligatory function, they also provide additional facilities. What are these additional facilities? Planning new public roads and acquiring the necessary land. As the city expands, slowly and steadily the city expands. So there is a need of the new public road in that area. And acquiring the land to make the road is the discretional function. Improving the condition of the slums. This is the very important responsibility of the municipal council. Slowly and steadily the slum area of the city should reduce, and it should take the place of high-rise buildings so that the people should live a hygienic and healthy life over there. Creating public gardens and parks. This is also a discretionary function. Creating public gardens and parks. Providing secure shelter for cattle are some of the discretionary functions of municipal council. As we see that in the small cities, there are stray cattle which are moving on the roads. So the municipal council has the discretionary function to provide a secure shelter to the cattle and to facilitate them. The sources of revenue of municipal council. As in the previous slide, we saw that there are a lot of work done to light the street lamps, to provide drinking water, to make sewage disposal. Municipal council needs money to provide all these facilities. Why only municipal corporation? Each and every person needs money to provide facilities. So municipal corporation also needs money to provide facilities. So where do they get this money from? First, property tax. You live in your houses. At the end of every year, financial year, we get a property tax bill from the government. So we pay this property tax in the government office. So this property tax is utilized. Then education tax, then water tax, then tax on the markets, then grants from state government. See, you can see over here, property tax which we pay to the government keeps the tax in the government account. The education tax which we pay, that is also credited in the government account. Also the water which we get at our house through the taps, at the end of every financial year we get water tax bill, we pay it, and this money is also kept with the government. Then there are marketplace in the areas where the businessmen, where the shopkeepers come to sell their goods. They have to pay the tax to the government officers. This money is being kept in the government account. Then grants from the state government. The local government is working for a city, but state government also provides some money to the local government to function smoothly. So all this money is collected, and this money is utilized by the government officers to provide the facility to the people living in that area. The municipal council also arrange the health camps. By getting all this money, the municipal corporation provides us water facility, provides us street lamps, electricity, water, etc., etc. Other than this, the municipal council also arrange health camps and awareness programs for the citizens' good health. Health camps are also organized. Eye checkup camps, blood donation camps, your full body checkup camps are being organized at the government hospitals, and we all people take the advantage of all these facilities provided by the municipal council. So in this chapter, in this session, we have got the information about Nagar Panchayat and municipal council. So let us recapitulate what we have learned. So now there are some questions for you. One who knows the answer can unmute his mic and give me the answer. And then again, after giving your answer, you should mute your mic. So the first question, all local government bodies have to carry out some essential functions. What, according to you, are the essential functions of the Nagar Panchayat? See, you should think about Nagar Panchayat, transforming from village to the town. What facilities the local government should give? See, Avinash Pathak, you can unmute yourself and you can give your answer. I think Avinash is finding it difficult. So, Shruti Kapal, you can give answer, beta. What facilities should the people get in the town?
Water supplying,
Good.
health checking, electricity supplying.
Good. Nambi Konar gave the answer. Good, beta. Very good. C, providing potable water. Potable means drinking water. Government dispensaries for the people and vaccination. Government hospitals, clinics, running government schools. Well, government schools should be also there. Then garbage collection and disposal. This facility is also important to maintain the cleanliness of the society. Providing sewage facilities, sewage system, gutters and everything should be there so that the waste water from your house can be carried out to the far area from your city to maintain cleanliness in the town. Okay, these are the facilities should be provided to the people. Only this is not the responsibility of the government should provide. This is the responsibility of us also to take care of each and everything. We should also take care while using the streets, while using the electricity, while using the water. We should also understand that it should be used very judiciously. We should not spoil the water. We should not harm anything in the society while using them. Next question. Who is the administrative head to implement the decision made by municipal council? Municipal council. What are the decisions taken by municipal council? Who is the administrative head?
Chairman.
The chief officer.
The chief officer.
Implement. See, decisions are taken by chairman, but implemented by chief officer. Okay.
Chief officer.
Yes. Which local government body governs the town that are in the transition from village to small cities? Village to small cities.
Nagar Panchayat.
Nagar Panchayat.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Correct. It is the Nagar Panchayat. Let's check our approach now. The appeal from the municipal council calling all citizens to take the follow-up measure to stop breeding of the mosquitoes and the curbs to spread the dengue. See, if the municipal council is awareing the people that
Keep your surrounding clean.
good, do not stack old tires, coconut shells, empty cans or boxes on your terrace or around your house. In case of persistent fever, go to the doctor without delay. Keep your surrounding clean. Very good. This is very important. See, when there is an rainy season is going to start, some municipal council auto rickshaws used to come in your area and they used to announce that don't keep the stack old tires on your roofs. Coconut, don't you keep the coconut shells or the empty cans on the rooftops. What happens if we keep all these things on our rooftops? The rainwater get collect into it, and we all know that when the still water is there, the mosquitoes used to breed in the water. So there is a lot of breeding of the mosquitoes, and which is very dangerous for us. So we should not keep them on the terrace and in the open space. We should discard them. And if we will feel fever, if we are not well, we should not take home remedies. We should immediately move to the doctor. Not only private doctor, government have government hospitals over there to provide you the facilities. We should take advantage of them, and we should keep our surrounding clean. In response to the above, what would you do in your house in the surrounding? See, this is the thing which is been asked to you. You have gotten question that to reduce the breeding of the mosquitoes, you have to do all these things. Will you do this thing in your life when there is a rainy season? Will you implement it? This is up to you. You should think with your mind, and you should decide that is it good or is it bad. If it is good, we should implement it. Okay, and by implementing it, we will help the government. In this chapter, we learned about the structure, functions, and office bearers and officers of Nagar Panchayat and Municipal Council. In the next session, we will learn about the municipal corporation and its functions. So in the next chapter, we are going to study about the municipal corporation. As we know that we live in Mumbai, and in Mumbai, it is municipal corporation. So the upcoming session is very important for all of us. We will get the information of municipal corporation and its functions. So thank you for the today's session. I am ending up the session. See you day after tomorrow in the next session. Thank you, all of you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye bye. So you can end up the session.